What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast, where we talk about everything and anything about Texas. First of all, I want to thank to all the new subscribers that subscribed and watched the videos. Thank you so much. And all the negative comments, positive comments, thank you for those as well. You know, the videos should get a little bit better as I will start doing this a little bit more. So please be patient. You know, today, we're going to do a little reaction on this hip section of the documentary, because as y'all seen, Hips is alive, he's kicking, and he's willing to shed some light. I'm like y'all right now. I really don't know the truth, you know, even though I'm privileged to just ask him and he would tell me. But that would defeat the purpose of what I'm doing it. You know, I want to be like I told Dante, this I got on this journey just for being on the comments, watching the show, commenting on the video, expressing my opinion. You know, I feel like he did it, but I wasn't there. So I can't really, you know, put my money on it. So I'm at a 50-50. So that being said, that took me on the journey of looking for Mindy. I couldn't find Mindy. All I could find Mindy was the obituary. So then I started looking for old Hips. He got a criminal record. I was able to track him down, and now we got some kind of agreement. The only thing I've asked Hips this morning was three things. Because he keeps on calling. He wants interviews. He wants to tell his story. So I asked him three things. I said, "Do you feel comfortable telling your story on the documentary?" He said yes. And I asked him one other question, but let's watch that first before.
I told him, yeah. Of course, at the time I said that I didn't have that in mind, but that's what it ended up being. So, from that point on, I didn't really kick it with nobody else for a little over 2 years.
Mindy was not the only one to join Mark's makeshift clan. There was Hips, a forger. He began his flight.
It's about having a
Excuse me. So right here, I paused it because he did tell me about the forgery charges. He said it on his last video, but he didn't tell me nothing about that other part, which I'm going to ask him. Those are going to be the questions that are going to be asked.
companion, somebody that you know is your friend.
I got Hips through a partner of mine. Hips went to the street and come back to prison. When he got to the camp, he owed out like $300-400 worth of shit. When he first got there.
On that case, it is a possibility somebody could have racked up a debt, especially a high debt, thinking, I'm about to go home, give me this, give me that. I got you. He told him he's getting a release a certain date, but in reality, it was a different date. So people do that all the time, man. Some people never get seen again, but sometimes prison for somebody is just a revolving door. And that's what happens apparently to Hips, that he just keeps on going back and forth.
Okay, when I left and he left, we met up again here at Limestone in 2000. Okay, and it was the same scenario. Mark had a boy, David Mendenhall. Okay, and I run tattoos, run a store, and hustled. All right, so me and Mark.
I'm gonna pause it again because you know if y'all watched the last video, you know I didn't really mention the documentary. All I mentioned was if he knew uh David Mendenhall, and it clicked in his head what we were talking about. So he's well aware.
Started running the store again together, hustling, trying to make more money and more money and more money and more money. And before you know it, I ended up with 2 boys, and he ended up with 2 boys, and we called it a family. And when he wasn't around, I watched all of them. And when I wasn't around, he watched all of them.
So I'm gonna pause it right there because it's gonna be a quick, short video. You know, these are questions that only Hips can answer, and he's willing to answer. So everybody out there in YouTube world, just be patient. It's coming out, you know, but it takes time, you know. Uh, but Hips is out there, and the last question I did ask Hips was the documentary real? You know, and his question was the majority part of it was real. So I'm just like y'all, man. I don't know which part is real, which part is fake. You know, I'm I got on this chase just like y'all did, man. I want to know the truth, you know. But now we got somebody else's point of view, somebody's story. You know, I don't know what he got to say. Is he gonna say that he wasn't a boy, that Mark was a boy, vice versa? Somebody's pointing the finger at the other person. It's gonna be a finger pointing out between them. I don't know. I honestly don't know. You know, it's a good one. You know, that's why I jumped on the bandwagon. You know, hopefully it gets better in time. I'm sorry that I stutter sometimes, but you know, this is new to me. But it's an intriguing story. And if it is true what happened to Hips or anybody else, well then he got a story to tell and it's for him to tell. And it's a good one. You know, he says for majority of the part, it was real. Now, which part is that? That's for him to tell us. And that's what we're going to do on the next video. The next video, I don't know what I should do. We should do a reaction video on Dante's first Mark video or do the reaction on the documentary with him. So y'all drop it down in the comments what y'all want to see. Somebody else dropped the comment. You know, they put a list of comments down there. They put a list of questions that I took note of. So, you know, y'all keep on doing that, man, and support the channel. And I get back to y'all as soon as I get one with Hips, Charles. You know, we're gonna get to the bottom of this.